owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. Yeah. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long. Yeah, that's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
If 8% of the shipping in the world was gummed up for like this long, that would, well, it's 8% for the entire industry. We don't know how much of that is for Martinez. Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
He looks up from his notes.
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Her reply comes quickly.
This checks out.
This does check out. The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrog, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
She raises her brow.
If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this
Okay,
matter
interesting.
at a later occasion.
Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
I really like that. See that? He can't be that
He is
bad.
the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
That's amazing.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
The lieutenant says succinctly.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
Turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
She explains. An effective advocate for the rights of the local workingmen. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. I mean, it's an effective advocate, but it's also not doing great. I wouldn't call it a leech, because the leech is the corporation, but calling them a socialist mob is also, like, it's an effective advocate.
Why do you think so?
Her voice is calm. There's only curiosity there. Between Everett, the human leech, and Measurehead, this union sounds like a motley crew. I'm into it, wink. Sounds like they're all Revachol. I'm all Revachol too. To hell with the rest. They're good labormen. Can't fault them for a little corruption. Oh, none of those are... Yeah, I'm not as much with that. I'm all Revachol too.
I suppose you are, officer. All Revachol. But enough about Everard. What else can I tell you about?
She lets out a loud cackle. Tell me one thing. You said something happened in the election?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter.
Yeah.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
She passes the thermal cup between her gloved hands. What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Oh.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57.
The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic.
And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
He points to you.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
She returns the lieutenant badge and turns to you. Remember my partner to you recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
She looks increasingly worried. It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, city, nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the heavy drinking.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She sighs with compassion, sadness even.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
The lieutenant interjects.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Okay.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Try it.
Feelings
Ah.
will guide the way.
But madam, I need to know about this lynching. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You understand it's not like a side case for me. This is my main thing. You have so much else. I only have this. Spread your hands. This is the entirety of my existence.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
This boat, for example, at a home somewhere. I only have this case. The carbon fiber hull creaks. Oh no. I don't remember anything except this lynching. There's only this coast and this lynching. This case is what I'll be known by.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
She puts her foot on the guard wire.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Like...
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it.
Interesting.
Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Huh.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
The lieutenant closes his notebook. Excuse us for a moment, ma'am. What's up?
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
Lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Oh, so we're henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
What do you propose? That we just don't investigate the drug trafficking?
If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it.
That's a good point.
What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information.
He adjusts his glasses. Oh, I like that. We know you could just find my badge.
That would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
He nods slowly.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
Well, let's get back to her then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
She takes a sip from her silvery thermal cup. Okay, tell me about the drug
It's
trafficking.
quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isla into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics.
Sick.
Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Shit, yeah, baby. It's the
Party
pipeline.
pipeline!
Why would you want to shut that down?
Why are you trying to shut down the party pipeline? Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
I assure you, officer, these are not the sort of parties you'd want to attend.
She has no idea what kind of parties you've been to.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from
Yes.
Samara.
After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
Give me 1 sec. My computer's getting angry at me. There we go.
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
She raised her phone. What do you mean? Am I gonna need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Why didn't she come to the RCM earlier? It's no coincidence that the lorries are stranded there like that, is it? What proof do you have that the Union is involved? Actually, yeah, why didn't she come to us earlier?
On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Interesting.
We know the company has launched its
Oh,
own
yeah, we're in
probe
the pissing
into
contest,
Union's
too.
alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
She smiles and points towards the road. It's no coincidence the lawyers are stranded there, is it?
We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is
Interesting.
a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
She looks north.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it just your teeth chattering in the cold?
Shiver fucking misery.
A lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao. The literage they must get from this terminal alone must be oceanic.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
Oh,
I
good. They
am
opened it for
sorry
him.
for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have they're even
How
involved?
do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
It's a very good point.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
All right, I've made my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
Yeah, we'll take this case.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something.
She's a long sip of tea.
It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
She takes another long sip from her seemingly bottomless thermal cup. You seem to be smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in. You seem so rich. Can I have some money? You seem smart.
This reality.
She pulls her hood closer around her neck. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. No time to explain. Just give me the lowdown. Actually, yes, it's related. Actually, no time to explain. Yeah, it's related.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of it.
We may be
Oh,
here
just
a
giving
while
it up.
then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
She takes a long sip of tea.
All right, we're in.
Oh, holy
I
shit.
know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd.
I'm
It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She smiles. And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
She shrugs. Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
She closes her eyes.
As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now
Yeah,
the
that's
reeds are the
terrible.
real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know.
Huh.
Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the
Beautiful
delta
name.
of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her
That's interesting. She looks at the water.
and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city,
What kind of city is Revachol?
the great kind.
And what makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
It's a hell of a sense. Okay, so who built the city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat,
Interesting.
depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
But why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
She smiles. So we're in an unimportant part of an important place. So we're pretty much at the center of the world. So we're on the periphery, basically nobody's. So we're in an unimportant part of an important places. I like that.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That
Huh.
soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom, coalition government in Cylindian Mission Command.
Interesting. Look at the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
Interesting.
There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Shivers is the best. Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
She watches you closely as you scan the horizon.
This is one thought you need to complete.
Okay.
Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality.
He turns to you.
Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Well, won't I be lazy if I don't do it all now?
Of course not. You are already diligent for getting this far, and diligent boys remember.
He shakes his head.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Okay. That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Oh, you seem rich.
Anything
Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What lustrous
A
hair.
well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au natural, shaped into a permanent wave. Late 40s style,
Yeah, I wouldn't bother trying to dye it
positively
away.
statuesque.
Yeah.
While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible.
Yeah, so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you.
That's incredible.
Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
My God. These Inland Empire and Shivers are just the bros
You're
best
poor.
lines.
Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too.
Ashamed? I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough, as I should be for even considering it. This is a woman and I am a man. Yes, I should be. No, I'm not. I'm not ashamed to shake a leech.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her
You think
feet,
your little communism?
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Her voice breaks the silence, and suddenly you're back again. Nearby, a seagull pecks at a piece of garbage. I've got some more. Oh, do I really have to work hard for it? Do it. 58%.
Whatever
Yeah.
you're doing it. Really put your back into it. Yell it from the top of your lungs.
Money! Help me, I'm poor. I need money to keep living. Can I have some money? You seem rich. Can I have some money? I'm just gonna do it. Money!
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. The wind is a bit strong. Could you repeat that?
She chuckles to herself. I need
How
money!
much money?
I need 130 reals.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She reaches into her raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. In it, you see paper notes arranged like black gills. Oh, that's an incredible line.
She removes a few
Shit!
notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Oh!
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
She returns the zip bag to her jacket. You bribed me, all right. I'm your little peon now. I'm an honorable policeman, one of the few good men in Revachol. Funny that you're worried about this and not your ruthless exploitation of the entire human race. I'm still getting my head around this whole money concept. You were just helping me out. Yeah, I'm going with that.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the everything.
I can't believe that worked! Okay, we're
Which
paying
you
for the
most
night.
certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
She bows and then raises a single eyebrow in your direction. Thank you, that's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Holy shit, that worked!
Soviet socio-economics.
Let's learn about communism.
0.000% of communism has been built. Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
That's an interesting sentiment. Left-wing dialogue options now give experience, which I think that is a note that I really like, is that communism is the only one that gives you experience, which kind of means it might be the only one that actually helps you. Okay, -1 visual calculus and authority. I can live with that. Oh, okay, yeah, I wanted to... Yeah, oh wait, I have to pay points to unlock it at this point. Because what's Jamas Vu? Revasol special... Wait, okay, so there's no temporary bonus for it. Revasol special administrative region, Le Caillou, the Institute of the Ocean, Coalition Government, and Civilian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trevant, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corner to see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts. The one you truly must complete. Okay, we have a skill point. I'm fine with unlocking it. Yeah. Which, oh, whoa. Derealization's an interesting term for that. Okay. And then, yeah, we don't have anything there, don't have anything there. Yeah, then we have to go back and do our reality loadout at some point. But now, I think we can finally go look at the body. And we have that door open, we can go look at that later. Oh, actually, I wanted to look at the map. Just see if we had any checks reset. So we still have the mirror, the horseback. Oh, Joyce has checks. We can go and try again. Oh, we can't go from this side. It's been a while since we've saved, so I'm just gonna save real quick. But we got the money, so we're fine. I think I can still try to talk Gart into, like, not charging me that much. Oh. The book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica. Well, that's most popular books.
Sir.
Oh, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to talk to you in it. I haven't gotten there yet, but it's mostly because I know I'm going to get distracted by the commercial district if I do.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes.
Fuck you, mailbox! Ow!
There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. It sounds like it's mostly empty. Your toe hurts now. Your toe has suffered damage. It hurts.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box.
Lieutenant nods approvingly. Rub your toe. You think so? You think it was cool?
I don't. Let's go.
Oh, ooh. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
The lieutenant looks down the street. Oh yeah, we can't bench until we don't have Kim with us. Yeah, and I don't have the visual calculus field to do this.
You see a set of tired.
I don't think I can touch the thing on the door, so let's do it. Okay. The letter R wears a crown, and the ribbon below a light above descending. That's interesting.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container.
The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
How do we get the lock
You
open?
could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or
No or! Pry
you
bar!
might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. And he also has information.
Okay, I'll try that first. Alright, Kunis.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think.
She hisses. Take one step closer.
Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
She means it. The fear is real.
I just want to ask some questions.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Child, converse with me! Hey, kid. You there, behind the fence. Hey, kid.
What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
She puts her finger to her temple.
Get the fuck out of her face. You got done. Talk to me.
Really? It doesn't let me talk to Kunis at all?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Child, converse with me.
Murder was the case they gave me.
She has almost vanished behind the fence. Only top of her hat remains. So do none of the lines
I'll
work?
die before I
You there,
squeal.
behind the
You don't
fence.
want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
The hat drops even lower.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
Oh.
I'll die before I...
Yeah, I'll just leave. Okay, let's talk to Kuno before I...
Kuno's got this.
The boy throwing rocks, the dead body can't be older than 12.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
I feel really bad laughing at that. He's a child. He's like a 10-year-old child.
Oh, yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
Hey, kid, a word, please, business. A moment of your time, please. I'm not getting into this right now. I'm not getting into this right now. I just want to see what the... Yeah, when this came up. Smells like spoiled meat and curdled dairy. A human being decomposes. Yeah, if you've never smelled a body rotting or been around a cadaver, it's really hard to explain to people how bad it is. A winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years. It's one of those things where, like, the number of checks you have to make... Oh, okay, I can't get into that. Interesting. It seems kind of, like, absurd. And then, like, if you've been around one, it's just like, oh, no, that scans. Okay, wait, hold on. Am I really, like, not allowed to select those? It looks like I can, like, go around. Like, is there not... Okay, so there must be, like, a door on the other side? Wait, because the cursor just went, like, over there. Oh, that, like, literally just tried to pry bar me all the way over there. Interesting. Okay. So I don't want to interact with that door yet until we look at the body. Well, let's talk to Kuno first. I shouldn't avoid him.
Kuno's got this.
The boy throwing...
If there ever was...
Oh, yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
A moment of your time, please.
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rocks.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good.
Huh.
Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about.
Juicy what now?
I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, Kuno! Ride the lightning, Kuno!
He's like 10.
Kuno's riding it, see?
He wipes sweat from his brow and sends another rock flying.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Kim, what should we do?
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
What forces?
You will see.
Are you kids siblings?
The fuck are you talking about?
He throws another rock.
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
Hey, kid, you want to hang out? I'm not a narc. Look, I have questions for you. Kid, you want to hang out? I'm not a narc.
Fuck no. Kuno doesn't buy that shit. Fucking entrapment shit.
Look, I have questions for you.
All right. Entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
He jets his chin out. So I gotta ask, who's Kuno?
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
He points to his chest with both thumbs.
Kuno. Primal.
Okay,
Violent.
because does Half-Life's portrait not look like Kuno? Like, okay, Kuno sounds like something you call a rabid dog, so you refer yourself in the third person. Kuno, it sounds some kind of gang name. Kuno, it sounds like you call a rabid dog.
Yeah, think about it. Think about that rabid Kuno shit.
His eyes light up.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you!
The thing behind the fence starts squealing, shrill and violent like a fire alarm.
Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
The sound gets louder as the child shouts at the windows overlooking the yard.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
The boy joins in. See, I'm not doing anything. See, just answer the questions. Just answer the questions.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
I'm not yet.
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in it, Kuno! Somebody, please!
It's full blast now. The wind carries the message far and wide across Martinez. What is this sick charade? Who put you up to this? Are you high right now? Shit! Yeah, don't punch him. It's a bad idea.
Look,
Kuno whispers as you retreat, vanishingly silent.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that, I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look. The Kuno's dad gets.
Oh,
The
God.
murder look. The rage look.
He lets it linger. No, yes, but I didn't act on it. It was just fantasy. Yes. How do I get back to it? I want to go back to that thought. How do you know that? You can't see inside my head. Whisper, can you read my mind, Kuno? Yeah, I didn't act on it. It was just fantasy.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know what? You should have, because now
He's raised his voice again.
you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
He spreads his arms, taking dominion over the yard.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Lieutenant almost rolls his eyes.
You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
The hypo-headed critter doesn't let him finish. Whatever, I had some questions about the crime scene.
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
He taps at his temporal
Click,
lobe.
click, click, click!
The body, goes the little hypo-wearing asshole behind the fence. The body, what do you know about it?
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
Kim, help me out here. What do we want to know?
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He picks up a rock.
End of conversation. Very strong. You should be this stoic.
Do you know how it got there?
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
So you didn't see it happening.
You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
He puffs himself up. Okay, where'd you go then?
I don't know. Some fucking
He looks around trying to come up with something.
Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
What? Where is Night
Kuno
City?
gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant.
You see anyone
Just
suspicious
a couple
around?
of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno!
Whew. More on this later, right now. Let's talk about
You're
something else.
testing Kuno's
Get lost!
Discuss the body with you
The
again.
fuck
Oh, wait, no,
about it?
not actually.
You're
Get lost!
About the crime scene. You kids often play in this
right,
yard?
pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it?
It's the greenhouse over there.
Don't know. Keep that gardener used to work there.
Oof. Hold on, the gardener used to work
Yeah,
there?
that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno
Interesting.
can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno.
He fills his lungs with the rancid air. His eyes get a little watery. Wait, what do you mean by kept?
Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dictionary. Fucking small brain. Kuno means the gardener, alright?
He shakes his head. You mean the young woman by the whirling in rags? That
Look.
gardener?
Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
He looks you in the eye and nods as if agreeing with himself.
Yeah, her.
I was wondering about the trash container.
Don't be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig.
Somebody might have stashed something in there. Maybe there's even a lead.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Why the fuck are you telling this shit to Kuno?
I might have questions later. For now, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
I have more questions
Yeah.
with the crime scene. All right.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Hey, Kuno, you think you can turn the Kuno down for a moment? Let's talk like normal people. Kuno, listen, I know this boundary pushing thing is new to you, but it's old news for us grown-ups. Kuno, you must have seen all kinds of things here, throwing a story here. Want to help the RCM bust a murderer? Yeah, let's just, boundary
Get
pushing.
your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard Kuno pushes it. Kuno pushes it hard level.
He waves you off.
You should give up, Popo, or the Kun will keep fucking it out of you.
You okay, Kuno?
She looks worried. The Kun has her confused.
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
All right, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Okay, that wouldn't. I feel like that actually went not as bad as I remember it going initially. So
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
what kind of boots?
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails all over the yard.
Union is here.
Isn't this something
Oh, hello,
an industrial
hello.
worker would wear?
Lieutenant, workers' boot tracks pointing to them.
Noted.
Lieutenant takes out his little notebook. All right, let's just try this.
Maybe.
Oh!
No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud.
Go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46.
Okay.
2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44.
Okay.
3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43.
3 was closest to the tree.
4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46.
Wait, which is it?
You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is.
Oh, yeah,
Cold
true.
must have preserved them.
Count more.
5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but number 41.
Male or female?
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped.
I'm pretty good at this, ain't I?
You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it in a strange, beautiful way.
Count the rest.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms.
Fucking fat fucker.
8. And yet another standard work boot.
Or they were
Number
carrying the body.
44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
Ah, I remember why.
How many?
The lieutenant has been tracking your eyes movements. 400 million! 8.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20.
Same guys are going back
I
and
never
forth.
got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
Points to his glasses. Light step, number
A
41.
woman or a kid?
Could be a kid.
Okay. How do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
I said a kid, but then it says deterring sex. That's weird. I just do.
Understood. Anything else?
A heavy one, 200 kilogram
200?
imprint.
Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He thinks for a moment.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
One of them was carrying him over.
Possibly. Yes.
An aberration, one's soul is smooth than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the odd soul.
You have any ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
He thinks for a second. That's a driver. A drummer? That's stupid. So one of the people we're looking for is a drummer?
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
Nod thoughtfully. I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
He doesn't seem to hear you, looking south toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent. The engines are all turned off.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Yeah, it's prudent. Lieutenant writes down the information in his notebook and then reverts to the tracks in the mud. How old do you think these tracks
A
are?
week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again.
Only reason they would
Sub-zero
have souls.
temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked
Looked at the tree. We've been through all this. Shit. Okay, well, that's a lot.